So, passion pursuits / senior project / whatever this class is called now, final analysis and reflection. Let's do it. I want to explain my project first. So, obviously I chose to do a YouTube channel, making YouTube videos on natural health, sustainability, minimalism, and theology. And the theme of my channel was called Life That Worships. And that was just because it was something that I was learning in my personal life. The Lord was just expanding my perspective on life and how everything that we do is an act of worship, whether it's worshiping and giving glory to Jesus Christ, our Creator and our King, or whether it's worshiping and glorifying ourselves. And we're sinful, so when we're doing that, we're really glorifying the devil. I had been making a lot of changes in my personal life that I just realized made it so much easier for me to worship, but to live intentionally my life in a way that all of it, just my lifestyle, is worship. And it makes it easier to worship within the way that I structure and think through my daily decisions. And so that was something that I wanted to share with others and help people think through how what eternal consequences their daily actions have. I had been learning a lot, and I was passionate about all those areas that I just listed and wanted to share that knowledge with other people. And I could have chosen a myriad of projects based on any one of those things. Like, I could have chosen to do some sort of recycling program, but I chose to do a YouTube channel. And this is because at the time I was wanting to go into communications as my major, to become like a text editor, like work with a publishing company in kind of journalism. But yeah, I was going to be a communications major. And so it was like, I know that I'm going to be learning a lot about cinematography, photography, editing, content creation, marketing, all that kind of thing. I know that's going to be up in my wheelhouse when I get to this major in college. And so why don't I do something that I can learn and expand my skills on some of those things now, and just kind of see how it goes and how I like it. Once I finally chose that as my project topic and logistics of what it was going to look like, I did a lot of research and prep work, just trying to figure out what I wanted my channel to be, all the descriptions and what I was gonna name it, and how to even upload a video to YouTube and how to make a header. And so I was just watching all these YouTube videos and reading articles about how to do YouTube. And I did not enjoy learning any of that stuff. I don't care about getting subscribers or likes. That was not the purpose. So I kind of had to force myself to do some of the things that would make it a good product that otherwise I might not have, just on my own with my own personality. So one of those things was branding. I was really intentional about my color schemes and aesthetics of the whole channel, because I don't like caring about that or spending time on that, because I don't feel like I'm good at that. I know how important that is when you see it in the final product, and what a difference that can make in what people think about what you're putting out. And so I did spend time on that. I finally got started, and yes, I wanted to start well and research and know all the things I needed to know, but honestly, a lot of what stopped me from getting started was just being scared. Like, I felt really lame that I was choosing to do a YouTube channel. Like, I didn't, when people would ask me like, oh, what are you doing for your passion pursuits project, I'd be like, well, I'm making a YouTube channel, which I honestly have such a different respect for people who actually do this as their living and make money off of it, because it's insane how much work and time it actually takes that I did not realize beforehand. So I was just like scared of what people would think, or yeah. So that kept me from getting started too, and kind of helped me stay in a research prep phase for maybe longer than I really needed to. And one day I was just like, okay, Lindsay, like you have to get started at some point, and I sat down and filmed a video on my phone. I never actually ended up editing and posting that, but that taught me how I needed to frame my videos and how I should talk and my posture, and so I learned a lot from filming that video that I never used. And then that did finally get me on the track for starting to actually make content and put it out there. So I ended up making 5 content videos, 1 intro video, and then there's gonna be this one as conclusion. So I started out by making a video, I think I called it "I'm making YouTube videos now?" ? And just kind of explained what I just told you all about what my project was and why I was doing it, and that was that, because I wanted people to know that I was doing it for a project and not just because I wanted to be a YouTuber, because I thought that was lame. So yeah, full stop. That's what happened there. And then my first video was why I'm deleting social media. And that by far was my most successful video, which is funny because it's probably my worst video. I haven't gone back and rewatched it, but it was my first one, and I'm sure the editing wasn't great. I'm sure how I structured it wasn't great, because I've learned a lot since then. So it's kind of interesting. And I know that that one did as well as it did because I posted it on social media before I deleted social media. And that's why it has so many views. But what was cool about that video was I had some comments from people that I didn't know, and I knew that they weren't like mutual connections, like friend of a friend. And so it literally popped up on their suggested on YouTube, and they watched it and enjoyed it enough to comment on it. So that was kind of cool to see, I guess. And that really made me be more intentional about praying through what kind of impact my content was going to have, and putting more work into any type of theological assessments that I was going to make, so that I would be an approved worker and rightly presenting the word of truth, because teachers will be judged more harshly. And so yeah, I became really more intentional about asking the Lord to give me the words to speak, and all of that, blessing what I was doing and leading me to what I should create. That was the project. That was the bulk of what I did. It truly was a big learning curve. Some of that was just, it was difficult. It's awkward to set up a tripod in your room and film a video of yourself talking in an empty house. Like, it's just weird. At the beginning, it took me at least two full takes of every video before I felt like I got something that was worth editing. After I did get the actual video and I was editing it, I had to think through how I want to do intros and outros. And on top of that, the camera stuff was hard to learn. I am using my sister, so my sister's a photographer. I'm using her old camera, so it's not necessarily built for videography, but it's nicer than my phone. So there's so many things, like when I move, the frame moves with me, it doesn't stay still, and I don't know how to fix that. When I made my natural and sustainable products I use daily video, I would be like holding them up and be like, this is this, let me show you, and it doesn't focus right here. I don't know how to make it do that. And when I start my videos, like, I can't flip my camera screen around so I can see like where I'm sitting and how it's framed, and then start it and have it focus on me, because it doesn't let me if the screen is flipped towards me. So I have to sit down, frame myself, flip the screen backwards, and then I hold up this pillow literally where I think my head is gonna be, and I start the video to get it to focus on this lovely pillow right here, and then I sit down and I try and make sure that I'm in the semi-right spot that is focused, and I film the video. And so stuff like that, I didn't know. I ran out of space on my SD card, and I cleared all the videos and photos off of it. I completely deleted it, and I went to film another video, and it was like, SD card is full. And I was like, it can't be, I just deleted everything, what the heck? And I didn't know that you have to format it to actually delete everything. So yeah, I just learned a lot. A lot. And there's still things I didn't learn, obviously, because I don't know how to make my camera focus on this. So yeah. All that being said, I did truly enjoy the editing process. I don't know why, but I love editing videos. It's fun for me, and I don't even think I'm good at it. I just like doing it, even though it takes like forever. It was so much work. Not just the editing, but the actual videos. Like I said, they would take multiple takes, so you would have to find a chunk of time where it's going to be daylight outside so I can get natural light from my window. You have to have a large enough chunk of time to get all the content you want to talk about, and then probably multiple takes, and you have to get your camera set up. You have to make sure you have fresh batteries and a not full SD card and all of those things. This is the part that I'm the worst at, is remembering to take thumbnail pictures. I think I actually only remember to take a real thumbnail picture that I took one time. All the other times I either didn't think about it or I forgot, and I ended up going through the video and finding a facial expression or something that I was holding up that was pertinent, and I screenshotted it and used it as the thumbnail. And that was another thing that took work that I didn't expect or didn't enjoy, was making thumbnails and designing them. And I kept them pretty much all the same. They were really boring and really simple because I just could not put the time into designing them because I'm not good at that. And yeah, all this to say, I didn't hate the project and I wouldn't redo it because I learned so much. And I mean, if I knew now everything that I know from doing this project, yeah, sure, maybe I wouldn't have done it if I could do it over again. But I wouldn't know the things that I know now if I hadn't done this project. So yeah, I wouldn't have really changed it. I've kind of rethought what I want to do with my career, because there were aspects of this that I enjoyed, but there were aspects that I hated. I don't like spending my time on technology. I don't like sitting at my computer all day, and much of this involved sitting and doing something a lot of times on my computer. And it just seems a little bit hypocritical that as somebody who doesn't want to do that, I am creating content to try and get people to spend time on technology and social media. Hopefully this makes sense, but it feels very antithetical and a little bit wrong. All in all, it's led me to reconsider not necessarily communications. Well, yes, I mean, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. I really don't. I know that I want to be a wife and a mom and have a homestead. That's what I want to do with my life. But I cannot guarantee that. I don't know if that's what the Lord has for me. So, and it's fine if he doesn't. I just want to plan my way in a way that's wise, which is why I was going to do communications, because I was like, I can either get a job or I can do this like part-time or from home or freelance and do all the wife, mom, homestead things that I want to do. And that's why I chose communications. And then I'm thinking through all of these things and I'm like, well, there are a lot of things that I don't like about this though. If I was making a choice on college based on what I wanted to do, I would pursue dietetics at K-State. But I've wanted to go to master's for a really long time, and I've prayed about it and I've asked the Lord, and he's just made it really clear that that's where I'm supposed to be next year, and they don't have a dietetics program. All of this has come up because of the project. My uncertainty about what I want to do and everything. And before I knew for sure that I was supposed to go to master's, I was talking through it all with my mom, and she was like, well, what if you did midwifery? And I was like, okay, I never thought about that before. And that is just way out of left field, not something I think I would have ever thought about or come to on my own. But I'm also really passionate about women's health. And I was like, well, I feel like I would actually enjoy that a lot. So this project, it's led me to figure out what I want to do, and I'm gonna go to college as a liberal studies major, so I can do a lot of science to get a good science base. I can do a little bit of communications and business to figure out how to have my own practice as a midwife, and when I graduate, I am going to go into midwifery. It was kind of like, this has all the things that I wanted with communications, where it's something that I can get a job in and support myself in if I'm single, and if I were to get married and have a family, I could do it with a family too, if I needed to. And so it checks all those boxes, and then it doesn't have the things that I hate. Yeah, this project is not something I would ever continue to do or choose to want to do again, I don't think. And I didn't like a lot of it, but I had fun doing it and learning all these things, and now I kind of sort of know what I want to do with my life. And so it accomplished the purpose, I guess. Yeah, that's my project. I guess I'm showing this in class, so if you have any questions, that's all.